State of Texas is gonna try to get the school tax out of the property taxes.
And put it where? Does it make a separate one?
I don't think. They got lots of buildings there, a surplus.
Yeah.
It's not 6 o'clock. After the meeting tonight, call to order. We have a quorum. Just go down any public comment? Seeing none. Any adjustments to the agenda? Go ahead.
I propose that we take, Tina's application first, because I have to leave at 6:30.
Okay. All right. That should be the approval. I don't think we can approve the November 16th because we don't have Cindy here. We can make a motion to approve the March 28th minutes.
So moved.
And second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? No. Okay, we'll start with the new business. Tina, could you just give us a quick rundown? I've read advised of something. I looked at your application.
Okay,
Okay, there's concerns with the LPI guy. But the town has also made some changes at the last town meeting too. So why don't you just let us know what you're trying to do over there,
sure.
if you would.
So we started a bartending company to reopen the venue. It's a separate business than the venue, and it's a traveling bar company, but they basically service most of our weddings. And the liquor license, to obtain a liquor license, you must have a catering license first. So we had our catering kitchen at our previous home in Falmouth. It was a pretty small kitchen that met the basic state requirements for the catering license, and then we applied for the liquor license. So we were working on a food truck option for almost a year, knowing that we were selling that house. And just recently, the liquor licensing laws have changed, or we were clarified that we cannot have a liquor license out of a food truck anymore. Which I guess they used to do that. So we are now scrambling because we spent so much time on that truck. Went to try to get this catering license at the barn, only to learn that we would then have to provide all the catering for our events, which we cannot do. Then we tried our Airbnb residents, and the septic didn't qualify. And so now we're down to our last option, which is our little cabin that we built on our property. And there is space in there to put a small qualified kitchen that would be licensed by the state at the catering kitchen. And then we would apply for our liquor license. We really do want to continue to control the alcohol at our venue because we don't want it to be BYOB. We don't want other vendors coming in. We want to have control over it. So we didn't know this was going to happen and that we would have to come to you guys, and I'm sorry that we are here again. But if I understand correctly now, Terry Brackett has told us that that septic could be expanded and a home business would be allowed at 10 Saltwater Way. And if that is true, I have already spoken to Edward Green, and he is working on a design so that we can expand the septic to accommodate an estimate of extra gray water, which the kitchen won't get used. It's a formality. We didn't use it once when we had it in Falmouth. It really is an expensive formality, to be honest with you, in order to get the catering license.
Okay.
So there really is no extra gray water produced because the bartending company takes its business to venues, and that's where they do their hand washing and their
Set up for that.
and any gray water is produced offsite, to be honest with you. So we just really are hoping to gain approval from you all for the home business at 10 Saltwater Way. If that is accepted, we will move forward with expanding the septic as Terry Brackett has indicated to. And, we will create a small qualified kitchen to be, licensed by the state. And it will have a lock and key on the door. No one will be able to use it except the business. And honestly, it will basically just sit empty because no one will use it.
Okay, pretty good.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah, I do too. Go ahead.
My first question was, you actually got a planning board permit for this business a while ago, I think. You at least had an application in.
Yes, I think that was for the barn, and you guys approved it, but.
It was for, the kitchen was actually supposed to be in 305 King George Road. It was up at the house,
Okay,
the house that is just closer to the road than the cabin that you built.
okay, that's
you-
right, that
you
was one of the
submitted-
steps we took.
You submitted a design for a qualified kitchen in that house. And I guess the question is, why isn't that? Why wasn't that the option that you chose to pursue, and why did it need to be in the other building? I say that because your life probably gets a little easier with us if you do that,
Oh, yeah?
because you already have a permit for that.
But the septic isn't big enough for
We
that.
still need to expand the septic,
But
but
I couldn't find a permit, I looked,
Couldn't find
after
it.
you said that. Yeah.
I don't recall being granted a permit.
you know,
before.
did you withdraw that application?
No, I don't think we proceeded
Well,
with
it was
it,
information, she came.
Because-
It never was proceeded, okay.
because Terry told us that the
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 septic.
septic would qualify, and there are 4 owners of that house, and so. I mean, if that is the only viable option here, we'll go back to that one for sure, but we are under such a time crunch to get our license renewed now. That we just need to move forward
Well,
with something.
what would be, I guess, the remedy? Well, that's what I'm looking for, because I know you're under a time crunch. I'd like to see you get set up. I like, if we have to, the kitchen, I guess there's some things about the entrance and different things. Has to be a separate entrance.
Yeah,
Is that capable of being done? And
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now, the room that we plan to use is a walk-in closet, so we would remove the door that goes, so there's a bedroom and then it's a walk-in closet, so we'd remove that door. So the bedroom has no access to it. The only access to it would be through a utility room, and it would be utility room, door, qualified kitchen. So that door, even between the utility room and the qualified kitchen, would be closed.
How big is that space? You say if I could-
That is
Doesn't matter to me, I just want to fit.
maybe 5 by 8.
Okay,
Which is about the same size as the approved kitchen that we have in Falmouth.
all
It's
right.
very small, yeah. We don't need a stove.
It's my understanding you have to have an outside exit to the outside, not into the house.
Oh, well, that might be new. That wasn't the case when we did it in Falmouth.
But in Falmouth, you had an exit to the outside.
No, in Falmouth, it was a room created in our basement. And so you actually had to go through the garage doors, into another door, into the basement, and then into that room.
So you go through in the lower, I guess it's 3 floors, the lowest floor?
That house has.
I've never been over there.
So it's the basement. It's in the basement. That basement has its own entry.
Yeah,
We walk in, and then to the right is the utility room. We would just build it off that.
now the other spaces in there is, how's that set up? Is that a home
There's a
there?
bathroom, there's a kitchen right in the middle, and then there's an office and a bedroom.
Okay,
So I guess what you're saying, Terry, is that it would boil down to what the state would require. Is that something that's a state?
right, yes.
That's the way I understood it.
Well, that's an email I got today, that's what I was, so you'd have to kind of like, is there a way to, is it on an outside wall or anything where you could put a door to that space, or you can't? Cement around there,
It is cement. It is,
I don't want to carry the cement, it's a hardship to me. To do something like that,
Yeah, I think I mean, I guess that's sort of, I feel like that's between you and the state, really,
Okay,
honestly, because as long as you can meet the requirements and the state's happy, I think we would be okay
We're fine
with
with
it.
it, yeah.
thank you.
But I think, I don't know, to me, the bigger concern, I guess, and this is maybe not totally. Germane, but. My question is to the board, whether we think that this actually is a home business. Or if we think that the whole thing is then a commercial. Entity. Like the whole building, so I guess I know that perhaps at some point, like you were advertising on your website, that cabin was available as a. As an add-on or as part of a wedding package, like, what is the use of that cabin? Yes, so if it's truly a single family home that's occupied as a residence. Full time, and you're adding business to it, then sure, it's a business. But if the only way of being used as a home is somebody who's living in that basement apartment. And the rest of it was for rent, and then that person is gone, and you have a qualified kitchen in there. Then maybe the whole building is commercial, and we have to look at the whole thing.
The only thing about that we voted at the town meeting on Ray's. Operation down here by the school. To prepare food and so forth.
Yep.
So that was. Approved by the town.
That was a home business, yeah,
That's a home business where you prepare food.
but that's a family living in the house, also preparing food.
Right.
But if it's a cabin that's entirely for rent, for
Okay.
wedding guests, that then also has a catering business. in it, how is that not? a
Like
wedding-
100% business.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's my question. I don't know the answer. So you can clarify, but I think
Okay,
we want to
So-
do it.
we allowed our daughter to live in that apartment, and she was ready to. start her bank. So she's now just recently moved to Boston, and then now we're taking her space, we're gonna be living in it. So, yes, we will be living there, I mean, similar to our Airbnb, that can be rented by. Wedding guests too, it's still a residential home, so. I think we went through this when we first built it, with the fear that we were doing, that it was gonna be commercial, but yet it's. It's a residential home first, and we're just opting to include it as overnight. for our people. So we do live there, so it'd be just like the Airbnb, I don't understand how
Right.
that would become.
To me,
Yeah, I think,
I think that's okay because people do rent their houses for a few days and
yeah,
move or a month or something in the summer already, sometimes they move back in.
yeah,
Right.
I think as long as it's actually a residence.
Yeah, it
And
will be
not-
occupied.
Yeah, I think that to me makes a
I put
difference.
on word.
Me
Because
too.
it was just something about being. Like if all of a sudden you've got like 10, 15 people sleeping in there, like as part of a wedding business, like then you start to have to ask questions about safety and fire safety and sort of things. We turned into a different animal.
Do you do that with Airbnbs in general? You police how many people?
They're not regulated in sometimes.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's a bit of a loophole. The something
Yeah.
purpose built would,
But what normally what they're like. People that rent these, they'll say for 4 people
yeah,
or something like that, and that's,
Beds for 4 or whatever.
yeah, it has to
right?
do with. the-
so they don't really, yeah, they limit the capacity in there,
Yeah,
you know. If you have to rent it, it's got a bedroom and maybe only suitable for 2 people or something, and a child or something, you know, if you're renting a place. Most people do not want large crowds in their
I
places.
hear that. That makes sense.
Those type of businesses actually can't regulate themselves. Because it's the landlord or whatever, the renter,
They don't want trouble.
they're gonna get a bad review, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we're lucky because the people who use our space to spend the night don't usually even shower. I mean, they come to the wedding, ready for a wedding, and then they just need a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And honestly, and then they get up in the morning and leave.
Yeah.
Most of them don't take a shower. There's so many times I go in and don't need to even replace the little shower things that we give people, like their soaps and their shampoos, and they just don't use it.
Right,
They are literally there for a wedding and then they need to sleep, and that's all it's used for.
So the layout of that home is so you could have, you could move in one floor and.
Yes,
Here's
yeah.
the utility room and the
basement.
closet right here.
Yeah.
In the basement, we can
Let me
see
get that
that.
picture. And then the only thing that has to be is upgrading on the
On the septic.
septic. Right, let me take a quick look at it. So it goes underneath the porch and then there's like a bedroom in the front.
Yes,
I mean, like, I guess facing the water,
right,
and then the back room there is the closet,
yes.
okay,
So that is on the outside wall. If we had to dig down and blast through the cement to make a door. Or have some sort of a window that was, escapable,
but that's a required, that's just a workspace in there. What they're asking is, if somebody come, if you're there, then people coming through there, was the issue, other individual outside of I guess the security of the,
Yeah, I think it's like a contamination issue. It's like it
Contamination
needs to be
issue.
Controlled, right? Is that why it needs to be controlled? Like
Right.
The access?
I believe so, right, that's why no one else is allowed to use that kitchen.
so you're saying, what I'd like to do is put a locked door between that closet and that bedroom, or?
And the
Is that-
utility,
We'll remove it from the bedroom if that's what the state requires. And then we'll,
Is there anything
accept the basic-
that we're missing here that you come across?
Or like, yeah, it's like, is enough,
Okay,
you know.
but that's just like, that's not our ordinance that controls that. I guess from my perspective, if we're satisfied that it's a home business,
yeah,
like we're satisfied that the home is a home and the home business is a home business, then I think that I don't have any real issue with it,
Yeah.
provided the septic is upgraded.
I mean, we don't have an issue, it's going to be for you to satisfy all the regulations, zoning and.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right,
and you know, your items that you should be advertising here, is the vegetable platters, fruit platters, and shrimp cocktail, nothing's cooked there,
nothing's good, no,
It's
we
all
don't have to
like-
have a stove or a hood,
or anything like that, okay.
That's the refrigerator, right?
right,
Okay. With consensus here,
The only thing I think it probably meets our ordinance, at least the letter.
yeah. The only thing with Mr. Brackett's concerned was, I know he's not here tonight, but you spoke to him.
He just needs more capacity of the septic.
The septic needs to be expanded.
Okay, so you agreed to that, and that's, is there anything else concerns that he had?
And then the residence, so for it to be a residence, we don't have a definition, it's like how much percentage of the year does she need to live here for it to be
Yeah.
a residence?
We don't have.
We don't have that.
Our ordinance
No, we don't have
doesn't really let us control that, so I
So-
don't think we have much authority there.
What we'll do, how that usually works is your insurance company will ask you what percentage of the year nothing to do with us, but I mean,
Yeah,
how much you rent the house and how much you use it yourself type thing.
are you getting rental insurance?
are we getting?
No, they don't need to have that.
Renters get
They
rental
rent,
insurance.
people actually rent it, but if you're doing Airbnb, they don't need it because you cover, the policy will cover the property and
Yeah.
they
but
know to
what
rent
I'm
it.
asking, I guess,
I
is,
guess when you go to an
do
insurance
you
company,
tell your insurance that you're renting that
you have,
house?
yes,
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 yes, you do.
we need to check, and what do they require for that purpose? Do they charge you more?
because we'll be living there.
I mean, it's nothing,
100%
But
of
it
the
doesn't
time.
matter to us.
I'm
Yeah,
going
we
through that right now,
don't-
but,
It has,
and it has things like, do you rent to anybody under 21?
Mhm.
Do you, allow parties there? Do you allow the animals there? There's all these kind of typical questions on a Airbnb rental
And do they
application.
require extra safety
They do ask if you have a hooked-in fire system, it's not mandatory like every.
No, I mean, I think the point is that the regulations are not,
No,
they're certainly not.
These are,
nice in
what they
town.
do is they're gonna, if you don't have these certain things, they're gonna charge you more insurance.
Yeah, and I think that if you had come to it from the perspective of I'm building this thing to sleep 10 people related to my wedding business, then you'd need sprinklers, you need
Right.
you'd be in a different bracket, it's a different category of building. Like, that's not to say that, like, it's a loophole that you can do it and live in the basement and you don't have to do all that stuff, but I think it is a loophole. Like, I think that we don't, like, I don't see the authority, at least not in the town ordinance, to do anything about it. And that's really by design, I think, to make it easier for them to figure out.
Does anybody have any objections to moving this application forward?
Nope.
Okay. All right, then why don't I just, we'll give you the performance standards and you'll have to increase your septic system.
Okay,
All right, the entrance, as long as it's, to the space is locked, or whatever you have to do to make that correct,
The state requirements govern.
state requirements government. Okay,
right, and it's gotta be right, or they won't approve it
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
after, so we'll, now, will I need a construction permit to do any changes down there?
that's good theory.
no, you're just remodeling.
This is modeling, okay,
Okay, today's the 18th, 2024. And this is gonna be for On the Rocks,
correct.
okay. What's the application there, name there again, the address,
Oh, the address is 10 Saltwater Way.
usually I try to have this stuff together a little ahead of time. Okay,
The post office just got that finalized after how many months? 6 months? We got that road name?
okay, took a little while. This is gonna be an application for commercial catering business.
Correct.
And this is located in R1,
Two,
2, I think the other side of the road is
it's R2,
R2,
the water side of 131.
R2, okay.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's good.
do you have, using the same entrance that you have? So you need a DOT permit. There's no DEP site review there for this, and no impact of wildlife,
No.
and any other contingencies specified by the board for this, I guess,
Just meet all the state requirements.
okay.
Doesn't seem a lot as the barn.
No, separate lot.
Actually, it's good.
Yeah, it does help.
Um. You put your name in there again. And what, map and lot is that? We have that handy.
I believe it's map 16.
Yeah, 4-4.
Not 16.
Okay, thank you. The R2 district again. Okay. Commercial catering business. And the same repeats itself. Commercial operation. The Do you have, how big is the lot? They have 1 acre?
Or,
Four?
that's what it says on the application.
Okay, cool, thank you. We can go faster. Not a campground. Good. A few more questions. Lighting is be shielded direct glare from adjoining residential property rights of way.
There's no changes proposed for the outdoor lighting.
No changes, so NA on that. But they, okay. I was gonna say yes on that because
Yeah, those are the rules.
of the rules. Industrial uses, though, there's no industrial use, and off-street people cause suspicion determined by the planning board. So how many vehicles would you need there or want there?
Oh, for the business loan,
How much parking would you need, like,
so, no additional.
it's okay, how many cars can you park in your driveway
Oh,
there?
we can park 3.
3. Okay, put 3 there. Yes. It's off-street parking,
Mhm.
you want all land around there.
Mhm.
It's not an outpaid condition, so. Planning board, in order to make direct care of purpose of special exemption, require additional conditions, specification, criteria, standards necessary to protect the public interest. And to fit such harmoniously compatible neighborhoods, locations, such conditions may include but not limited to. Conditions will be the septic system,
Yeah. And all other state requirements for the qualified kitchen.
okay.
Maintain state liquor license. Catering and liquor license.
Okay. But back from other butters, be 25 feet.
I believe it is.
Okay, it's gonna be, yeah, put it in here, 25 feet.
Okay.
Okay, from roads,
Line bar for the-
25. And bodies of water, that's not on the water, right?
No,
That'll be,
it's at least 1,000.
and I'll just put no. Right. Yeah, all right. Okay. Conditions must comply with state setbacks, provide additional setbacks from any dwelling existing, time permitting totaling 25 feet. Okay? That's the limit now. Yeah, it will have water on site.
Yes.
Yes. And it will have a well.
We have a well, yes.
Yep. Okay, now the septic. Gonna have to have a septic, so we gotta say something about that in this category, so it'll be adequate for.
It's being, you're building one, right?
It needs to be approved by
So we have
LTI.
septic.
I would-
Okay.
You're
Paragraph
expanding
is that you need to expand it.
And
It's a pending
So I don't know
LPI approval.
the details on what it needs. What the appropriate size septic would be. What our septic is approved for is 288 gallons per day. The house, if it's fully occupied, supposedly produces 270 gallons per day, so we're still under, you
Few.
know, its capacity
Yeah, so you need 50 gallons per day.
in addition.
In addition.
100 square.
But you're probably
It's
not
under
gonna use
100
it
square
every
feet.
day. any-
It's 5 by 8, so,
The kitchen won't never use.
Yeah.
but I think that's like a minimum. probably.
So just make it to the 50,
Okay,
whatever you, or whatever you
okay,
get,
It's not gonna be-
or a little more, whatever you think.
Yeah,
right.
You're
Yeah,
almost
Yeah,
there
we'll keep it
anyway.
up so that none of this becomes a problem.
Okay, impact on Crawl Lake Run Water, there'll be none.
Yep.
Okay, officers visible from the butters, town road will be visible from town road or the butters.
It's-
No.
do you know what
Yes,
type
no,
of
on that.
leach field is in there?
I think we have a copy of the plan.
Yeah, it's
I
in
don't know the language.
Okay, additional requirements, commercial, industrial operations quickly. Stored from, excuse me, adjacent dwelling, fencing, landscaping, screening, trees, shrubs, berms will be installed. Are they needed?
No,
No,
No, NA? Or no?
and then,
Okay. Landscape required, we're gonna say NA, or you know, okay. All right, employees, how many employees? Well, how many people in the catering?
Four staff that are working. Events. So I would say it's four.
Four, okay.
Yeah.
Security, gonna have lighting there, anything?
Yes. Yep.
And locks and so
Yes.
forth?
Yep.
Cameras,
No.
okay. Okay. Just a minute, Dave, but we ready with you. Hours of operation for this was on Monday, Friday. You're gonna be more days. I get the weekend. 7 days a week
Yeah,
and holidays,
yeah.
365. Okay, what time? Would you like it? You have a time?
Oh, okay, well, the way we do business now is that, all alcohol service and the bike.
Okay. We still have three, we can vote.
yeah, it's still.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All alcohol service ends by 10. So I would say 10 would be the latest.
Okay,
or do you need an extra hour to pack up or something?
Oh, that counts, okay, yeah, sometimes we pack up till, it takes till 11.
Where do you store your alcohol?
So right now I'm storing it in my, utility room and of course, the truck, what was it called that I was saying earlier, we're doing a trailer
Yeah.
to try to do the business in the trailer.
Truck?
The food truck, thank you. So in the utility room, the food truck. Since we moved from Falmouth.
when you open up in the morning, when you wanna go in there, same as,
Same as the business, I would say 8 AM.
And once you have your kitchen, where will you store the alcohol?
We'll store it there,
In the kitchen?
probably, yeah. So there could be some traffic there, but, I mean, I don't mind if the next event is happening in the barn to allow them just to block out the barn too.
okay, the 3 off-street parking spaces for this one on the rock. And any extra light will be designed to ensure safe movement, security. You gotta have motion detectors. Do you have one there now?
I have a motion detector light, yes.
Okay. Lights, motion detectors fitted will minimize adverse effect on neighborhood properties, including glare and reflection, so downward facing.
Downward facing, yes, it is.
Okay. All exterior lighting will be down facing, okay, that's. Signs, must comply with town office. Do you need a sign on this?
No,
No sign. Noise not exceed 65 decibels.
Yeah.
Operation not create dust emissions directly beyond the property line is also applied during the construction phase. So we'll say yes, no dust, and
okay,
you gotta keep it, you know. This may require resurfacing roads or use of water, tenting to mitigate dust, halt operations, wind directions. This is more for building something.
okay.
So it's pretty, yeah, it's all built. It's really don't have, but. Odor control, NA, I guess, or a yes,
What was that?
odor control,
Oh, yes.
okay, there's no vibration. This is NA. Yeah. Those questions deal with vibration screening travel. Nuisances, see the above notes. Also, any concerns by the planning board, with the nature of the operation listed above, the maximum number of parking spaces is gonna be 3 there. Safe off-street turnaround, yes, wide driveway there. Vehicle protection act, operation will be limited to the conditions approved by these performance standards. With regard to the hours of operation, we went through that, 8 AM to 11. Okay. Access is supposed to be restricted, controlled, and secured.
Access will be restricted, controlled, and restricted.
Yes, okay. Adequate capacity on the roads, yes. No added driveways,
No,
okay. Any other approvals you need other than state?
no.
State and county.
Okay,
So now we will just, you know, work our tails
you
off.
good? Yeah, you try to get your thing expanded, get with Terry, bracket and Terry about
Okay.
when your system's done.
Okay,
And then any other concerns they have. You need all your licenses that you'll need for that? Catering, whatever you have to get.
well, yeah, catering license followed by a liquor license, yeah.
Okay. Fire department access, they already
Yes,
have access down there, it's a big wide road there. And fire chief may or may not come by and look at that.
sure,
He's already been there, I'm sure. Apple will limit mineral disturbance activity with 2 acres. So you're not building anything, so it shouldn't be a problem. Comply with state approved guidelines for erosion control, groundwater, water and fuel stones. So we'll put an NA on that. You're not doing anything there. Maintenance inspection of sewage facilities. Okay, so we need to expand the
In Leachfield,
in leach field, yeah.
Mr. Green, I don't know if you know.
Ed Green.
Yeah, he thinks he'll have a design for me next week.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy system to expand on, so.
Oh, good.
Excuse me. Have the agents comply with all federal state requirements. Any other conditions that we need to add to that?
I don't think so. The biggest thing is, yeah, just the LPI, which we've hit on that.
Okay. Okay. Based on the above findings and with the specific conditions, the application for approval on the land use ordinance was now time for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the permit.
For the catering business.
Yeah, for the catering business with the understanding of the expanded leach field and approved by the LPI.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the state. Okay, all second, any further discussion? All in favor? 3.
Thank you.
Okay. 0 opposed and 0. I guess. And for the record, South Taunton Land Use Auction Section 4, paragraph B3, permit shall be denied if the proposed use is found to be in performance with provisions of this ordinance. Okay. So, planning board can take it back if we found that we did something wrong.
Okay,
If we made or anything, okay? So, you're set to go forward, and hopefully it's timely enough that you can get it done before you need it.
right, thank you.
It's written up to you, please. Let
Okay.
it go. You're all set.
You guys.
I know it's a little bit of, you know, Terry was very helpful today. She got good information
Yeah,
before the
she's-
meeting, so that was, I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Really helpful for me too.
Because I was quizzing her.
Yeah. And yes, well, I thank you.
Very nice letter you wrote. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All righty, you guys have a good weekend.
So. Landscaping,
I would prefer Gabe to be.
yes, same here, absolutely.
Yeah, he was
I hesitate-
heavily involved in that.
But he hasn't written it up yet.
Yeah, he was going to do something, so.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right, so we'll wait for that,
All right, you took it.
table that, and now the land use order amendments. There's nobody here from the land review committee. The only thing that I had that I kind of skipped with that Jeff missed was the section here where the town has to come before the planning board for their, right now, it's just a CEO for their properties, and I feel that it should be included in this because it's fair for, if it, like, her business has to come here, if the town builds a building or does anything, they need to comply
Yeah,
with those ordinances. And right now, Jeff has a different view on that because he feels, well, it could be a conflict between the select board and the planning board. But as long as the town is compliant with the safety codes and so forth. And that's what I'd like to see that change in this.
oh, and that's the only thing is you make sure it meets the ordinances.
There's no, see, because with the relationship, I feel, between the code enforcement officer and the select board is kind of more or less the same. They're kind of, and we're not non-paid, independent people. But anyway, it's in here, but right now, the town does not have to comply with anything that would make everybody else comply with. Even though it's, the argument might be, well, it's not a commercial business or commercial property. But I think that there's certain things that's going on in town, especially now, that we need to you know,
So you,
This is something-
what do you have in mind? This building should be compliant?
sure. This building needs to be compliant, any other town
But
property.
Do you suspect it is not? I mean,
No, this building, I think, is in compliance,
yeah.
okay?
Didn't have any smoke detectors.
Well, see, there's somebody next.
Well, and it's just one of those like, there shouldn't be an issue, there shouldn't be a discrepancy.
We just did not.
But there, there shouldn't be a discrepancy, but everything, I mean, it is a commercial space, correct? Like,
I understand.
Public space.
Yeah, it's a
I
public
mean, it's
space. That's
public,
nice
but-
to have a lot of
but
traffic.
it should,
In the land use tables, I think,
the lighting and
Yeah.
not that they're gonna do the wrong thing and not that Terry wouldn't catch something and just make it fit the ordinance, but it
I
should
mean, I think
be a
it's
checks
always
and
fair.
balances.
Yeah,
That's all.
you have to walk the walk. I mean, you can't.
that's the only thing in these,
It's not like the
Land
planning
use.
board's out to get
we're
the
not
town
getting, but
for building anything, but it's
it's
just
just
check and
more
balances.
and the same thing as anybody comes through here, we wanna make sure that there's no fire extinguishers, it's, there's enough parking, enough lighting, stuff like that, they need to kind of. But like I say, there's opposition from Mr. Northgraves, he feels it, but that's just something that. I think if we're making that, citizens comply, then the town needs to comply, that's all.
There.
It doesn't look good to me. But they're gonna have a vote on the ordinances, either to be included or not included in June, when we vote on this. The alternate, what they call alternate dwelling units, and all that kind of stuff, that we gotta comply with the state. So, there was one other thing that they had.
Did we receive a revised, after the public hearing, were there revisions to the ordinance review?
Well, that's another thing, yeah.
Pretty soon, I mean, we've got to think about a public hearing too, for the ordinance,
Yeah,
before it can be voted on.
yeah, we would have to have a meeting, I guess, to finalize, or does Jeff consider we are done? I don't know, yeah.
Well, it's in limbo, to me.
Yeah.
Like you say, the other day, we were talking at the public hearing about, the main issue was the registering of the short-term rentals. Because I think Jeff felt that maybe we should. Then, toward the end of the meeting, he kind of like said, well, maybe we could make it I mentioned that we could make it a voluntary thing, you know?
I think his point was like, the fact we talked about it shows, effort on the part of the town to address the issue.
Right,
But I think he is inclined to not do anything about it,
well, we gotta make sure this, before this goes to the voters, that what we kind of, the planning board traditionally has done the ordinances
yes,
in
but
town. But they formed this ordinance review committee to work with the planning board because it just takes time. And I can see that, but I think that,
I mean, the short-term rental is a huge issue, and let's face it, I mean, there has been no complaint in town that I'm aware of. I do have people, Terry, come to you and say, people were noisy, or there was trash, or complaining because of short-term rentals.
Because of what?
Have you heard any complaints from people because of short-term rentals?
the
Yeah.
nuisance,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so some
yelling,
people have been, yeah, okay.
but, you know,
You have to rent it yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
But most people that rent places, they don't allow large gatherings.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all
you
in the
can say you
agreement.
don't allow it, but if you're not on the
Right.
ground to check for it.
Right.
Well, that's, that could happen anywhere.
Well, it's like anything, there's a speed limit, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's
right.
not like we have law enforcement,
most of the people that come to these places are families or people that, they don't wanna cause problems and the
yeah, I mean,
people that rent their places certainly. If they don't keep them up, then they're gonna get a bad review,
so I think what could be brought up is, do people have a vote on whether people want a regulation about short-term rentals or not? I,
I think that would be difficult because it came up in Owl's Head and it was. And kind of the consensus I got the other night, they didn't like it either. But in Owl's Head, they were very vocal if they did not want any type of. Registering or, I know Camden's going forward with some things now.
yeah.
But, like I say, I think it's very difficult to enforce that kind of thing. And the market right now, I believe the bookings are down on short-term rentals.
Yeah,
So people, they'll live like that they'll go like that. If they don't have a good season, they'll probably put it back into a long-term rental.
yeah,
That's what I'm seeing.
well, we're thinking of doing some rentals. And it's like, I don't really wanna deal with the short-term stuff. It's, more of a headache. For me, turn over and,
yeah, I mean, if you're going to rent, it's much better to have at least what is the, I would say.
Yeah,
So I don't know what to tell you about that, I mean,
well, it's kind of.
I don't think there is an appetite
No.
for it.
Well, I think on the whole, well, except for, what the state requires to do, we're kind of set on that. But there was the short-term rental thing that. Do we have to have a registry? Do we not have to have a registry? Or we have a voluntary registry, And like I brought up the meeting, are we the town in the rental business? Too, so that's nothing we can settle tonight, but
I mean,
just
as
wanna
long
throw
as
it out
there is no regulation on the state part as to,
they
whether
just
you
would
need
like,
a permit or special things to do a short-term rental, then, towns are in limbo.
I think it's just another care that, it's like. That we don't need to put on the town as far as that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that, Terry has enough to do without. Doing more of that stuff too.
I mean, that's what we think until, somebody rents next to us and it's.
Right.
It's a zoo and then you have complaints, yeah. So,
I mean, I do too, and I'll say it, and I've had. No problems with noise or people causing problems,
mm,
and I've done it for. I don't know, 25 years, long time, 30 years.
no.
But one of them, I'm thinking about putting into a year-round rental because. Like he says, the care of it and you don't get enough people in the summer. I use one of them for. A few weeks in the summer and then the rest of the year I use it for my family,
Mm.
both of them actually. But anyway,
Are we done?
We're done. We have motion to adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.